So you did some research, came across us. What attracted you to Family First Life?
I started watching videos. First I seen Dave Witchard.
Yeah.
I started watching his videos, and I'm like, that's me. That's me. I feel the same way, Dave.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to the, like this computer screen and stuff, and I'm like, I feel that, and I could, there was a lot that he was saying that I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I connected with that. And then I started just researching more. But it was actually, videos of Dave. Well, of course, whenever I told anybody else what I was wanting to do, I didn't get I didn't get the support.
Really?
I didn't get, it was,
What'd you get?
I got a lot of, that's never going to work, now you're going to, be able to go out here and survive selling,
Right.
something. And so it was a lot of negativity.
Yeah, which happens a lot. I mean,
yeah.
think about this. Probably someone watching right now is hearing that from, and it's usually the people
Everybody.
close to you. It's usually
Yep.
family. It's usually people that have been in jobs for 40 plus years. They're miserable.
Yeah.
But the thought of you doing something that's different than them, that you may or may not be successful at, it really threatens what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like they can't help themselves, right? It's like that'll never work. I mean, I heard it when we first started, 15 years ago. I heard it from everyone. It's a pyramid scheme. It's this. It's that.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say. Seems to be paying my bills, but
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So did you dive right in, or did you kind of watch for a while?
No, I dove in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna go head first.
Yeah.
And
Did you still have a license at the time, or you did?
no, I had to renew, which then found out the time that I had to just completely retake the test. So, before I reached out to anybody with Family First, I went ahead and did my course. And
So you got the license before you even reached out to us.
yes.
Wow.
I went ahead and made sure I knew, I needed money for this, I needed money for that,
Yeah.
I needed to be fingerprinted. I knew the process. I researched enough to know everything I need to do step by step.
Yeah.
And I was going full force all the way in. So I'm one of those people that, there is no I don't know. It's we got Google, man. We're in the 21st
Right.
century.
Right.
Like, try to find out. Try to do the work, do the research. Then if you can't find the answer, then reach out. But doing that research, you learn a lot more than just
Yeah.
asking the question to somebody.
Got
So
it.
I did a lot of research on my own, and so I had my license before I reached out.
Got it. Did you reach out to Dave directly?
No,
or?
I actually I think I've reached out to Precious.
Okay.
Found her information and somewhere on the website, and
Yeah.
just I emailed. So I think I emailed inquiry or something,
Yeah. Oh,
and
so Sarah was an agent inquiry. Wow. We learned
Yeah,
it. We
something
learned
like
it here
that.
on True Talk. I guess the
Right?
marketing works a little bit.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then we put you in touch with Dave.
I actually went under Ben Lowe.
Oh, okay.
So I went under Ben, which he was awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be this far if it wasn't for Ben. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And from Ben, then I went under Elvire.
Okay.
And Elvire's like, well, he's my favorite person. He's awesome too.
Yeah.
And so, now we're just like this big, awesome team of awesome people
Right.
that were fun to be around.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. What was that transition like? Because selling Aflac, it's very different products, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of like disability type stuff. Their cancer products huge, but ours is, especially then, predominantly mortgage protection, final expense. That's it. How was that transition for you? Was it simple, or did you struggle early on?
It was simple.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm a good people person.
Yeah.
I can read people. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
If somebody is, if there's a need for it, then, I'll go full force. If I really believe wholeheartedly that it's a good thing and it's beneficial to them. I've dealt with stubborn people my whole life. I come from a long line of truck drivers and hardworking people that they're not giving out their social.
Right.
Like, they ain't giving you their birthday. Like,
Yeah.
Stubborn people that won't listen to reason. So I'm like, I'm here to deal with the stubborn people. Like, I'm going to show you, like, yeah, you do need it. This is why you might need it. But I'm going to ask you, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to see what they need first.
Yeah.
And what they don't have, what they benefit from. So, for me, it was a simple thing because it's a necessity.
Yeah.
It's going to be there, to help you so that when you can't work, you can still pay your bills, if you become ill. But it's also going to be there to take care of things so that your family, the people you work for, have a home, or have things they need. And that's something I know a lot about. Nobody in my family ever had life insurance.
Really?
And I went to a lot of funerals. Everybody was on Social Security. As long as they had their beer and cigarettes, they were good, man. They were good. They didn't need, they just all believed it was too expensive. They all had that same thought process.
Yeah. When did you officially join us? What year was that?
I think it was 2021 because, around that time. Because I had seen there was a convention that was getting ready to go on maybe 2 or 3 days before I'd actually discovered some of Dave Wichard's videos.
Okay.
So, and I was like, dang it.
Oh, so you missed that one.
Yeah.
So your first event would have been 2022?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ditzy, so like my time, I lack in time and like my geographics and stuff of like where I'm at.
Got it. You remember how many families you helped your first full year, roughly?
I'm not sure my first full. I know that probably before convention, I was doing maybe 20,000 a month.
Okay, 20 families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
got it. So over 200 families a year, right?
Yeah.
But then, so reason I asked you that, Sierra. So we met you last year at convention. We met you through your sign.
Yeah.
So you were, Sean. We did several lead giveaways last year, and that will continue. Moving forward. But you had a pretty interesting sign. What did your sign say?
My sign said, invest $10K in me and watch me hit Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, before we tell me about the thought process there about making that sign, and what did you expect?
I had no idea what I was going to put on that sign.
Okay.
Actually.
Where'd you even get the idea to make a sign? Like, that was crazy to me because we started doing these lead giveaways, and I feel like we did one. Then the next time we did them, there was signs. Someone had a Wheaties box with Sean's high school photo. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So when did you get the idea to make the sign?
Well, it was like, I don't know. I mean, it was after the first day of convention, I think.
Yeah.
And, it was one of those things. I also wore a hot pink suit. So, I know, wear bright colors, do things to stand out, be creative.
Yeah.
If it's all about just the, being the creative person. So, shoot, if I had to have a big horn or something I would have done that.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. Right. But I just kind of, in my mind, I was like, what can I do to get the most attention on myself so that it's like, hey, Sean, pick me and watch what I can do.
Yeah.
And I was terrified though.
Really?
That's a big statement to make. That's not something you just write down and be like, I'm gonna put this here.
Yeah, why'd you settle on that? Did you have any other ideas? Or?
I did, but that made me accountable.
Yeah. Okay.
I needed to stick it out. I needed to make sure no matter what happened that I was going to hit that. I was gonna make that goal for myself and I was gonna do it because, anytime that something has been, something I didn't really want to do or this and that, I quit.
Yeah.
I didn't really, I wanted to go to nursing school and tried to start that process, but I couldn't do the math very well. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And I need to prove to myself that, I could do it. I need that accountability because, if you're going to make it that first year, you're good.
Yeah.
So I wanted myself accountable. And what's more accountable than being like, hey, Sean Mike, I'm telling you, if you give me money, I'm going to hit Hall of Fame. I couldn't even show my face if I didn't do that, the next year. And then Elvira was like, jokingly, he's like, if you don't hit it, you got to pay all that money back and leave. And I was like, oh, man. And then I started, and it, even though we're kidding and stuff, I'm like, all right, I'm going to pretend like that's real.
Yeah.
Kind of brainwash myself. But
yeah. Were you surprised when Sean picked you?
Yeah. I was because I don't get picked for stuff.
Okay.
I'm not the pick kind of person. But I mean, I was sweating, and I was standing there like on a chair in heels with like my arms, up with this big sign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm either gonna fall on my face and get everybody's attention that way, or maybe I'll get picked. So like,
you probably would have still received some leads if you fell on your face. I don't know if it would have been 10,000,
right?
but
Yeah.
we would have felt bad. It just gave you something.
Just give something.
Yeah.